Right. So let's look at this business of reorganizations takeover is very similar to dealing with looking at individuals. We're just trying to make sure we get the partitioning of the costs right into the different new instruments that we now have. But what we have here is that you have this business that has Mellon has acquired 4,000 shares on August 2003 at this cost, and then they get taken over here, if you like, where this gets split. Now, of course, with the individual, because we didn't have indexation, we just split it. But because we have indexation, we have to index from date of acquisition to the date of, date of us, when I say acquisition, the date of us acquiring the shares when we actually bought them to the date they got taken over. So we need to do that first. And then we're done. Pretty much it just falls into place. That's the only difference. So let's kind of do that and see what's happening here. So here you have literally, again, I have to kind of go in between so that for space. So really what I have here is I have 4,000 shares, if you like, just sort of showing you what's going on. I have 4,000 shares that cost you £6,000, and you now they get taken over sometime later. So you have your notes, so you can see the page and you can always see. So what happened here was, this was August 2003, wasn't it? And it says you got taken over in July. So that's an operative event. So July 2012. So in effect, all I'm trying to do is that I need to make sure I index these shares up to this date. I get the real value, so include inflation, and it tells me that the inflation technically from August 2003 to July 2012 is 0.333. So in effect, I'm going to kind of skip this a bit more now. In effect, right, the new value of these shares really are, right, 6,000 times 1.333. Highlighted this before. In effect, so just so we know, we can explain what we're doing. We have 6,000 times 1.333, and that takes us to 7,998. So in effect, now at July the 12th, I have shares worth 7,998. Now the question becomes, well, what do I do next? Well, I would like to split. It tells me, again, applying the same principle that we applied even when we're dealing with individuals. You've got these shares with 779, and someone's offered you 3 ordinary shares, and 2 preference shares. So in effect, someone's offered you, so I need to, basically I have this cost, I need to split my old instrument into 2 new instruments via value. I've said that before. So my 3 ordinary shares are valued at 0.85, so 3 times 0.85, which is 3 times 0.85, which is £2.55, and 2 preference shares, which are valued each at 65p, which is £1.30. So in effect, the question here is, what are these worth, and what are these worth, whatever you've offered me? And literally as a ratio, nothing has changed. Oops, sorry. Nothing has changed. And my ordinary shares, the total value, if you like, or what they're worth, literally would be, right, this ratio of 2.55 over 2.55 plus 1.35 times this original cost of 7,998, as we would have done to land. Nothing different. 2.55 divided by that's 3.9 times 7,998, and this is 5,229, and here we have the difference, of course, which is minus 7,998. And here we have 2,768. So we have 2,768. So in effect, I can now, because I'm going to be selling some of these shares, I believe, soon. So in effect, I received 3 ordinary shares for each of my existing shares. So it says here that, and you had 4,000 shares. So I received 12,000 shares. So I have 12,000 shares with the base cost of 5,229 at the 12th of July. That's the thinking here. That's the argument. So now I can go back into my sort of table format. I now have, in effect, 12,000 shares indexed at 522. Well, I'll just do that here. 12,000 shares number in terms of cost. In terms of index cost, actually, I'll just keep index cost 5229. That's my starting point at where are we? Here we are, July 2012, when the takeover happened. July 2012. And then, of course, it says that you sell some in March 2019. Well, I will stop again at 2019, but I'm going to stop at, of course, December 2017. That's when we did this still. So we have a number, 12,000. And literally, again, what I'm going to do, like I say, is that I'm just going to 5229 times, right? 5229 times the inflation, again, which is all the way till December 2017, and that's times 1.149. I'm just literally taking the whole thing up there. So 5229 times 1.149, which is 6,008. So that's what I'm dealing with. That's the index cost at that point. So in effect, now I get rid of 4,000, which is what I'm selling. I sell 4,000 for 1,400. I'll come to that. In effect, basically, what is a third, right? 4,000 over 12,000 times 6,008, in effect. And so when I do that, 4 divided by 12 equals that, times 6,008, you will get, oops, sorry, you will get 2002, or I'll round that up to 2003. Yes, and so I'll literally just go back and now I've sold these 4,000 shares for we've sold these 4,000 shares for, here we are, 14,400, and deduct the 2003, and that gives you 12,397. 12,397. Right. Let's just go to the answers. I just want to check out C. So just to show you the layout. So what I've just done here is just shown you conceptually what is going on. So let's look at the layout now for how this is laid out. So right. So we started off kind of marrying this to what I was saying. You had the 4,000 shares. Maybe I may have pressed the wrong number on the calculator, but let's carry on. So you have your 4,000 shares. They cost 6,000. There we are. And then you had this indexation. If you remember what I did, that was the 1998. But what I did was I just literally went 6,000 times 1.333, and that took me to 7,998. If you remember. Then I split up my costs by virtue of the market value, and this is kind of calculating the whole thing. And if you remember, that was me splitting up that 7,998 based on the ratio of the value of that land. So I had 52. Let me just confirm. I think I had 5297 as well. Let me just go back to my answers. Five. Oh, right. I don't know. How did I? Yes, I had. 1 second. It seems I had 5229. Let me just do that calculation again. 3 times 0.85. I just think I have a math calculation wrong here. 3 times 0.85 is 2.55. 2.55 plus 1.3 sorry, that's where I've gone wrong. 2 times 0.65 is £1.30. I've just done it wrong. So this is 2.55. This is so happens. So 2.55 divided by 3.8. Yes, here we are. 3.85 divided by 3.85 is equal to that. Then 7998 was 525,297. So I have just a mathy calculation wrong there. But let's go back here. So the principle, of course, is the same. It's just that my maths is let me down there. So 5297, that would have been the base cost now, the new index cost there, and then you had the 2701. Now in terms of layout, you can see that what they've also done is to literally split the cost, the initial cost, in exactly the same proportion, so that we can then keep on seeing what the indexed gain is. But I mean, if you're doing this in a section A, you're not going to spend time laying it out like this. You want to understand exactly what's going on. You want to move quickly. So the key point is your argument is literally what is the value of that indexed amount. Right, so you now have, key point is you have the 5297. That's our starting point. So we then carry on. You can see you have your 12,000. Yes, that is the cost, and that's the indexed gain. And literally, again, if you remember, what I did then was just to literally take the 5297 and multiply that by 1.149. So 5297 times 1.149 will take us to 6086, right? That just takes me there straight away. So I have 12,000, I have 6086, I dispose of 4,000, that's the cost, 2029. And then I come back literally up here and I dispose of the thing. 14,400 minus these two things make up the 2029, and I have my chargeable gain. So for layout, yes, you need to split it up, basically keeping the cost in mind in terms of the that, because remember the land was initially 6,000, so it's just splitting this 6,000 for cost, and then realizing that there's inflation in general, which is what I was teaching you or showing you. So that's really the way to tackle this. I argue that stick with what I've done in terms of getting the index cost, especially in section A. You're not going to need to spend time doing all of this. But in the section C, yeah, then just split it up this way. And we'll see that in questions as we go. So it will be a bit more structured. Okay, great stuff. I'll see you in the next video on the part B of this question.